look what we have. We have Steve Roderick. How you doing, buddy?
Outstanding. How are you today on this lovely Monday morning there, David?
Well, I'm out of car. I got into a car accident. My car got
Yeah.
totaled, and I am traveling with mass transport this morning. I'm in the train station.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Well, that stinks. And car accidents are no kind of fun for anybody. It can kind of turn you upside down, which kind of leads us to today's guest, David. All right. Would you like to hear who we have?
Who's our guest?
Well, today we have Mr. Bill Jackson, and he's a business development manager for United Property Restoration. Good morning, Bill. Thanks for coming. Tell us a little bit about you and your company, what it is you do.
I've been in this business about 16 years, helping folks after fire, water damage, and mold, all these traumatic events that happen from time to time. United Property Restoration, we've been in business over 25 years. We help residential and commercial properties damaged by natural disasters and fire and water damage. What makes us kind of special is we know that every loss is different, and we have a really experienced team in place to meet the needs of every specific situation. So it can be a small loss or a large loss at a commercial or residential property, or a single family home, or a large condo loss, or a small condo loss. We're there to help them and work directly with the unit owners and with the board members and the property managers. And it's been kind of my segment for those 16 years, working directly with those property managers. So here I am, still up and at it, and we're getting ready for probably a busy winter season, according to the Farmer's Almanac.
Yeah, as you talk about this, like, what's the typical type of losses that we experience? You're located in Northeast, you're in Connecticut. What's the typical type of loss that we see this time of the year heading into winter?
Furnace puffbacks. People are turning those furnaces on. They haven't turned them on since the last heating season. You get that soot and it blows out throughout the ventilation system in the house and really does a lot of damage to your home. It could put you out of your house for a couple of days while the cleaning crews get in there. We also see water losses going into the winter season. Folks aren't turning on the heat right away, or they're taking off to go to a warmer place for vacation or something and turning that heat off. But what we recommend is get that furnace cleaned, inspected before you even turn it on. And once that's ready to go, get that thermostat set at 55, leave it at 55, don't turn it off. It doesn't take much to create a small crack. A small crack will do a tremendous amount of damage. Will cause a lot of water damage.
We have a lot of property managers that tune in and watch the show every Monday. So do you have any advice for them as to how they can help out unit owners preventing some of these losses?
Yeah, property managers, they should have an experienced contractor in place, really in all areas. They should get to know their contractors, have them lined up and prepared to respond 24/7 in our case on the restoration side. Make sure those contractors have the right team and equipment in place. Some restoration contractors have VIP agreements, so they'll set that up for you. Get a general idea of what properties you have and stay in touch with you and get a sort of a general idea of what they're managing. So we say area-wide disasters. We think of things like in Florida with these major storms, but an area-wide disaster could be here in the Northeast, some really cold temperatures for a few days in the teens and 20s with a lot of wind. That kind of weather could cause some serious damage to pipes and a lot of water losses. Quickly, restoration contractors could be overwhelmed and inundated, and you're going to need somebody right away. Your board members and your unit owners are going to want service immediately, and if you have somebody ready to go and vetted, that's important.
Now, I'd like to ask about Steve's favorite dish. Steve loves deep fried turkey. We're heading into kitchen fire season. So did you know that about 49% of home fires are kitchen fires? And now, the peak days for kitchen fires are, in order, Thanksgiving, Christmas Day, and Christmas Eve. That being said, do you have any suggestion besides not eating fried turkey?
Kitchen fires are probably one of the leading causes of house fires. It's really all about the cooking safety. It's being on alert. If you're sleepy or you're drinking some alcohol, be in the kitchen. Stay in the kitchen. Timers are important. You could easily step away and forget about that stove top, and it can heat up pretty quickly. Really keep anything that could catch on fire away from the stove top. Oven mitts, wooden utensils, food packaging. Really pay attention to those things, towels and curtains. Another big one too I've seen over the years is pizza boxes. People ordering pizza from local delivery, eating half the pizza, throwing the leftovers in the oven, getting it off the counter, forgetting about it, and then going to make dinner a couple days later, turning the oven on and
no kidding.
So we've seen those from time to time as well. So gotta be mindful of that too.
Okay. So full transparency, the siding on the garage has been replaced and my eyebrows have almost grown back. I learned my lesson about fried turkeys. At least I did it outside, because kitchen fires, I mean, they can be a little bit tricky. Are they harder to remediate than other types of fires?
They're greasy and there's special chemicals and things that need to be used on cleaning that up. It really could set a family, put them out of their home for days, sometimes even if it's just a grease fire. So it really could be a true inconvenience to clean those fires. That smoke tends to be pretty thick, and your walls in your home and a lot of things in your home are porous. So it really could be a detailed cleaning process for them.
And as far as that's concerned, having the kitchen fire, how big are those losses typically dollar-wise?
Yeah, great question, Dave. The cost could range widely from home to home. It really depends on the location of the kitchen, the trim levels, the size. Again, we go back to that experienced contractor that has the right project management experience in place to handle even the most challenging kitchen remodels. So important to have that contractor that's communicative and has the experience to handle kitchens of all sizes.
So I guess that would be your takeaway is if you want to be prepared for any kind of loss, make sure that you have a solid relationship with your restoration company, regardless of who it is.
Perfect. Yeah, my job is business development. You have that business development person. If you have that in place, you could call them. And typically, like myself, I'm on it. I drop everything and I want to make sure things are moving smoothly for folks. And it's really just a matter of a phone call. Really, when you put that kind of attention on it as a business development person, my company sees me as really the forefront. It's real important because it takes a lot of time and effort to build that relationship. Take advantage of those folks that you meet at the trade shows and that stop into your office from time to time and say hello and drop things off.
Sounds good.
So just so our viewers understand more about your company, what you guys do, like who's a good client? What's a good fit for you guys?
Really anybody with a building. We've worked with homeowners for the past 25 plus years on a fire that's $25,000 up to, for example, we did the State House Square building in downtown Hartford. They had a major water damage. There was 4 inches of rain in just a couple hours. A drain pipe inside the building broke on the 5th floor and really flooded the entire building, 5 floors all the way down. We ended up on that property, and it was just before COVID, and Hartford was kind of making a little resurgence, and they asked us to come in. So we ended up doing the entire for them. And if you take a walk in there now, you'll see it's all brand new and updated. It's really beautiful. We'll work with anybody on any levels. There's no loss too small and no loss too large. We're at it at all levels, Steve.
No kidding.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think that's a good plug for the company right there. But before we wrap this up and close with your concluding comments, Steve, do you have any fun questions?
Well, you know what? I do have a couple for Bill somewhere in here. So I have 2 questions for you, Bill. I'd like you to answer this from a unit owner's perspective or maybe even a manager's perspective. But walking into any type of event, let's call it, or occurrence, as we say in insurance world, what's the worst kind to walk into out of fire, water, or anything that you can imagine? What's the worst one to actually walk into and you go, uh-oh, this is going to hurt?
It's usually the fires that hurt the most. We look at these things, and I roll up on some condo fires, and there are multiple units and multiple people are affected. And there's property managers involved, there's board members, there's unit owners, there's insurance adjusters, there's contractors, and there's months and sometimes years of repairs depending on the size of these things.
Real quick, another worst question. Which is worse to watch on television, because it's completely different than live, golf or baseball? Which one's harder to watch?
For me, I love golf. I play golf regularly, so I'm going to go with baseball.
You can't watch golf on television. It's like watching cars rust.
I love it.
Thanks for being a good sport. You got 10 seconds with the microphone. Go
Sure.
for it.
One last thing, guys. We have this care at work philosophy. It's really our tagline. There's a lot of moving parts in this thing, and we've been doing this a long time. And when we see those fires, it can be really heart-wrenching, especially when I go home at the end of the day to my nice warm house and leaving those folks there, and they're really upside down for the next year sometimes. So we do care what we do, and those folks usually end up becoming part of our family too. So care at work, care at United Restoration, and we're covering Connecticut, Massachusetts, into Rhode Island as well. So we can help you folks all throughout that region.
These fine words, gentlemen. I'm going to have to end this show because my train is coming. I got to jump out. I'll see you both next week.